Good evening, race fans, and welcome here as we get ready for qualifying for race number 12 of Season 4 of the NCAA Duracell Cup Series. We're here tonight under the lights at the Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame. This is Darlington Raceway, as these drivers in the non-charter series are going to try and qualify their way into one of the crown jewel races of the season, the Throne of Games 500. These drivers not only looking to take part in one of the more festive races of the season, but also want to be able to run some special game-looking liveries once they make it to the main event. 6 drivers will transfer, the drivers that finish 1st through 6th here this evening. 37 laps of racing as D Schwallenberg and D Voyles are going to lead them down here to the green flag. We'll see if pit road may come into play here in this race, or if these drivers will make it the full 37 laps on what they've got in the tank, as the Toyota and Ford of Schwallenberg and Voyles bring us down, and the non-charter race at Darlington is green. Of course, when drivers come to Darlington, they are very familiar with that outside wall, giving them a famed Darlington stripe. Now, in the past, we've not actually had the wall come into play, although we have had drivers run rather high up there onto the racetrack. You saw them go in there through 3 and 4. Voyles and Wise, the 63 and the 81, got awfully close there to that outside wall, that safer barrier that juts out. So you got to be careful. As Schwallenberg edges ahead with the lead. Chris Dollerton now into 2nd. L Chung right behind him in 3rd, with D Voyles in 4th. So far in the Duracell Cup Series and the charter races, Ford has gone to victory lane in the last 3 races. And they do have a win here at Darlington. That was back in Season 2 when Dylan Young got his first career win. As now L Chung going to go to the inside of Chris Dollerton. Dollerton, of course, trying to pick up his 6th start, make that 7th start of the season, I should say. He has the 5 starts earlier on this year that he got through a championship provisional, and then he made a start racing his way into, I believe it was, I want to say it was Pikes Peak a couple of weeks ago. As Chung now to 2nd, 3rd place is Voyles, and here comes the 93 of Michael Wayne Robinson. Keep your eye on this guy because he made his debut in a charter race last week at Texas and finished 2nd to eventual winner Mitchell Collins. Almost picked up his first career win and his first career start. So right now up here inside of the top 6 as he's following in the tire tracks of his teammate Daniel Voyles. The 2KB Racing Enterprises Fords. Tristan Allen has now moved into 5th. Dollerton currently ahead of his Michael Norman Motorsports teammate Dawson Wise, trying to hold on to that final spot, as now L Chung kicked to the outside. Now, we mentioned the fact that the wall may not necessarily come into play here tonight, but certainly that outside line will. There is very little, if no, grip up there, and you get freight trained if you get kicked to that outside line. Chung's up there. Now Daniel Voyles is stuck up there, as Z Stultz trying to get to the inside of L Chung. Up ahead, it's teammates side by side for 2nd. Michael Wayne Robinson to the inside of Voyles. Tristan Allen looking to see if a hole will open up, and it will. Voyles drops from 2nd, back to 4th, back to 5th. In danger of falling now outside of the top 6. And here comes Michael Wayne Robinson now, hounding Dylan Schwallenberg for the top position. As we mentioned, Robinson made his first start last week. Dylan Schwallenberg has made 2 starts this year in the Charter Series. Tristan Allen has only made 1. Dollerton has made 6. And Dawson Wise has made 4. And of course, the goal for all of these drivers is, of course, to go to victory lane in a charter race, but also to make 10 starts in the main event to be able to clinch a playoff position. Dollerton's already succeeded in doing so, winning back at Manassas. So if he can make today's race, he would only have to make 3 more starts, and he would automatically qualify into the playoffs, one of the 16 spots. Michael Wayne Robinson takes the race lead away from Dylan Schwallenberg, and now it's a matter of Schwallenberg trying to find his way back in line. He'll slide into the 4th position. Tristan Allen moves up into 2nd. Dawson Wise into 3rd. Got a lot of teammates up here right now. We mentioned the KB Racing Enterprises cars. The 93 and the 63 were up here for a brief moment. The 81 and the 83 of Wise and Dollerton. Then you've also got the DCW Racing teammates there of Tristan Allen, who's now dropping back, and the 46 of D Schwallenberg. The only manufacturer that's never won here at Darlington in a chartered race is Dodge. Right now, we've got 4 Dodges that are scheduled to take the green flag in the main event. The 4 drivers out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports, but there's another Dodge that maybe could make it into the race. Z Stultz, single car entry out of Stultz Motorsports. Right now in that 5th position, currently in a transfer spot. Dollerton right now in the final transfer spot, and A Sampsell now moves up into the 7th position. Trying to hound down that 83 is Tristan Allen, still having trouble trying to find his way back to the inside line. He's got Quentin Moore trapped on the top side there with him. Some S Ozkan on the outside line there, and there comes the 12 of RJ Bishop. So far, 3 of the 4 Young Motorsports drivers have gone to victory lane this season. Dylan Young was the first back at Atlanta, the 4th race. Adam Garcia got his first career win 3 weeks ago at Michigan. And of course, last week, Mitchell Collins went to victory lane at Texas. RJ Bishop, his best finish of the season in a charter race was, of course, 2nd position. That was to his teammate, Adam Garcia, back at Michigan Raceway. So, trying to see if he can make it 4 for 4 here for the Young Motorsports Fords. You know, you look at these drivers up here, and right now, of the drivers that are inside of the top 6, if it stayed this way, 5 of them would be making their first start at Darlington in a charter event. Chris Dollerton's the only driver right now in the top 6 that's already previously been in a chartered event at Darlington. That, of course, was back in Season 1. But we'd have at least 5 drivers right now that would make their way into the field that have never won a Duracell Cup Series race. And the reason why I bring that up is because if you look back at the first 3 races we had here at Darlington Raceway, Seasons 1 through 3, Benny Watson was the winner in Season 1. That was his first career win. Dylan Young was the winner in Season 2. That was his first career win. And last year, it was Jack Mitchell who went to victory lane, and that was his first career win. So could we go 4 for 4 here at Darlington with a driver getting their first career win in the Duracell Cup Series? And it really would rely on these drivers in the non-charter race transferring into the charter race too, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe every driver, I'd have to go back and look, but I believe every driver in the field that is chartered ride in the Duracell Cup Series, I think they've all been to victory lane. I can actually go down through the list here real quickly and see if there's anybody that doesn't fit that criteria. Oh wait, no, there are a couple of drivers that are chartered rides that could be looking for their first career win. I'll get to those drivers in just a moment. Dollerton and Stultz right now in a battle for 4th. Dylan Schwallenberg takes a peek to the inside there of Dawson Wise, and that's the move you got to make to be able to make a pass here at Darlington. It's not that easy to pass, especially when the field gets spread out here. And you saw right there, actually, Dylan Schwallenberg had to lift coming off of the corner. Yeah, you got to try and make the move about halfway down the straightaway to be almost alongside the other driver going into the corner. Schwallenberg might have made the move just a little bit too late there going to 3 on Dawson Wise, and that momentum he lost there off of turn 4 has just brought Z Stultz, Chris Dollerton, A Sampsell, and others right to his back bumper. So looking through the drivers that in the charter race later on could be getting their first career win, or in line to maybe get their first career win. Cole Deaver in the 08 is one. Phil Parker in the 74 would be another. And I believe that may be it. I think it's those 2 drivers are the only chartered drivers in the field that have not gone to victory lane yet in their Duracell Cup Series career. Battle for the lead might be on here. Dawson Wise all over the back bumper of Michael Wayne Robinson, who is one of 2 drivers that has led here tonight. Dylan Schwallenberg was the other. As things stand right now, if Dollerton's able to hang on to the position he's in, then all 4 of the Michael Norman Motorsports Mustangs would be starting this race. Lamas and Norman already locked in. Wise running 2nd, Dollerton running currently in 5th. I want to keep an eye on that battle for the 6th position, though, just in case some moves get made. And we actually got a move being made for 4th. Chris Dollerton to the inside of Z Stultz. Makes this move going into turn 1. He actually will complete the pass. Stultz really had to get out of the throttle there through 1 and 2. He's going to drop outside of the top 6 because of that. That now moves A Sampsell up to 5th. And L Chung currently now up into the final transfer position. As Stultz still trapped on the outside line. Quentin Moore in that 66, it seems like he's always getting trapped on that outside line too. Pedro Lucas back there. Tucks in line in front of the 66. Follow the battle back up here at the front. Dawson Wise has not been able to get to the inside of Michael Wayne Robinson, and as he's been kind of stalking the 93, Dylan Schwallenberg's Camry's reeling in both of these Mustangs to try and work his way back up here to the front. Dollerton kind of by his lonesome, has a gap in front and behind him. Then there's the battle for 5th, with A Sampsell trying to hold off L Chung. 20 laps in, 21 about to be completed, and the tires obviously have got to be wearing down. Darlington, one of those unique tracks. You can clearly see, as we say up there on the top right, 1.366 mile egg-shaped oval. Turns 1 and 2, completely different configuration to 3 and 4. One of those tracks that kind of give the crew chiefs a nightmare of, which end of the track do I try and get my driver set up for, more importantly. And oh man, A Sampsell, you saw there, got kind of snookered in. He got trapped to the outside line. L Chung moves into the 5th spot, and that now moves D Voyles into the 6th and final transfer position. Some great battling back here, though, just outside of the top 6. Tristan Allen, Z Stultz, they're going to move into, I believe that is 7th and 8th. And now Pedro Lucas trying to move into 9th, passing A Sampsell. His teammate N Amoedo right back there. In between the two of them is Quentin Moore. There's D Poteet in the 31. D Poteet took part in the charter race back in Season 1. Don't remember where he finished in that one, though. Brad Stover in the 80 right behind him. Brad Stover, of course, having a runner-up finish. Oh, where was that? Was that Atlanta, I think, to Dylan Young? It's a lot of drivers that when they've made it into the main event, they've actually performed really, really well. Chris Dollerton, of course, winning at Manassas. Brad Stover had a top 5 run. Michael Wayne Robinson had a top 5 run. RJ Bishop had a top 5 run. So there's a lot of drivers that when they've made it into the main event, they've really made the most of it. I'm kind of wondering here, though, at Darlington, if they're going to be able to fight their way up to the front of the field. Because remember, the drivers that finish 1st through 6th in this race will be starting 37th through 42nd in the main event race later on. And just from what I'm seeing here, as the field has gotten spread out, you've had little intermingled battles of side-by-side throughout the field, but not much. I mean, right here, your top 3 of Robinson, Wise, and Schwallenberg, they've been running nose-to-tail single file for, the last 10, 15 laps, so not much of an opportunity to be able to get a run and make a pass. So I'm wondering if you're a driver that transfers in to the charter race from this qualifying event, how quickly are you going to be able to work your way to the front? Now, we know that Darlington in the past has been a fuel strategy race as well. That's how Dylan Young ended up picking up his first career victory back in Season 2 here. But I don't even know if with pit strategy, if it's possible for a driver that starts outside of the top 30 to work their way up here to the front. I have to go back and look through the statistics about Benny Watson, Dylan Young, and Jack Mitchell, the former winners at Darlington, where they started those respective races, because it just kind of seems to me that the way that Darlington has been the past 3 seasons and the way it's looking like here tonight, track position is going to be very, very important. Coming around to 10 laps to go, these drivers have not really backed their pace down all that much, about a second difference between Michael Wayne Robinson's fastest lap and the lap he just laid down, so that's obviously the tire fall off. But it's not looking necessarily like pit road is going to come into play here in this 37 lapper. We'll have to see what happens later on, as it'll be 56 laps for the main event. This is actually, I believe, the longest qualifying race for the non-charter drivers so far this season as well. Normally, we run about 50%, sometimes a little bit less than the main event length, but these drivers here are running more than 50% of the race length that they'll be running in the charter event later on today. Dawson Wise is the closest he's been to Michael Wayne Robinson's back bumper since he moved into the second position, and Robinson took the lead. Might be setting him up here potentially for a pass. Remember, the battle right here, not only for a win in the Charter Series, but also is for who's going to be starting 36th in the starting grid. Or, I'm sorry, no, 37th in the starting grid, which is an inside line position. And here's your battle for the transfer spot. D Voyles and Tristan Allen right now are the two drivers, 6th and 7th. Voyles has not made a start this season yet in a charter series. I thought he had, but apparently not. Yes, he has. Actually, I'm sorry. He has made a start. He's made 2 starts, and Tristan Allen has made 1. Tristan Allen, in his 1 start, has an average finishing position of 13th. Daniel Voyles, in his 2 starts, has an average finishing position of 29th. And now we got a battle here, 3-way battle. Oh, car trapped on the outside line. That's C Dollerton. Trapped on the outside of L Chung. That is 4th and 5th, and that's going to bring Daniel Voyles, Tristan Allen, and Pedro Lucas into the conversation, maybe, of snatching away a transfer position. And Voyles has lost the transfer spot. He drifted back from 6th back to 8th, losing the spot to Tristan Allen, and now here comes Pedro Lucas, and now pit road is going to come into play. L Chung is in. Pedro Lucas is in. Dawson Wise up ahead of them, and the 81 is coming to pit road. This is closing in on 5 laps to go, and pit road is going to play a factor. All right, so we've basically got it figured out here of what the fuel window for our charter race is going to be, somewhere in the vicinity of about 33 to 35 laps. And here comes Michael Wayne Robinson. This is a money stop for these drivers. Very seldom do we see in a non-charter race pit stops come into play into who's going to transfer and who isn't. I think the last time that it happened might have been back at Springfield. And just about everybody was on pit road this time. A Sampsell is going to be the driver risking it, staying out an extra lap. We'll see if this is going to gain him any type of track position. But it was less than a car length gap between Michael Wayne Robinson and Dawson Wise when Wise hit pit lane a lap earlier than the 93. We'll see how coming off pit road, which strategy works the best. Staying out a lap later or coming in a lap earlier, as now A Sampsell will bring that Matco Tools Toyota Camry down to the attention of his crew, and we'll see if this is going to be a call that's going to help him. There's the 81 of Dawson Wise. We're going to see where the 93 comes out. Dawson Wise has those fresh tires, if they took on tires. We're looking to find that number 93 Valvoline Ford. There's Schwallenberg, who was 3rd when the pit stop cycled around. There's Robinson, and he's going to be passed. Dawson Wise is going to take the race lead. And he's going to come around at 2 laps to go. Dawson Wise has 4 starts this season, including last week at Texas. But he has an average finishing position of around 23rd, so he's made a lot of races, but he hasn't exactly finished all that well. But it looks like he's going to easily be transferring into the main event here, as he's actually going to be coming around and taking 2 to go this time. Ticker was off because it was actually scoring the 3 to go that Michael Wayne Robinson had put on the board, so it will be 2 to go this time around. It's Wise with the lead. Robinson's now in 2nd. Schwallenberg in 3rd, Dollerton's in 4th, L Chung in 5th, and right now the battle for the final transfer spot's going to be between a couple of Camrys. That's Tristan Allen in the 15 and the 66 of Quentin Moore. We'll follow that in just a moment here. We want to make sure they're going to make it back here to the start-finish line for the white flag. Looks like we're going to run all 37 laps of this non-charter event clean and green with no yellow in between. Couple of Fords will take the white flag. Dawson Wise and Michael Wayne Robinson. Robinson's got the fresher tires by a lap. We'll see if it's going to help him here on this final lap. See if he can get at least to the back bumper of the 81 before heading over into that very critical turns 3 and 4, or will Robinson be willing to just ride in 2nd and transfer into his 2nd straight start of the season? Not close enough here through 3 and 4. Dawson Wise coming off the final corner, back into the throttle. He's going to win the charter race here tonight from Darlington. Robinson will finish 2nd, Schwallenberg 3rd, Dollerton 4th, 5th L Chung, and it wasn't even close for the final transfer spot, about a car length. Tristan Allen's going to hold off Quentin Moore to be able to get the final transfer position into the Throne of Games 500. And it looks like 3 of the DCW Racing Toyotas will be starting the race, as well as all 4 of the Michael Norman Motorsports Fords. And C Dollerton, this is important, folks, because he's now going to be in line to make his 7th start of the season. Only 3 more starts will he have to make for his win at Manassas to count towards a spot in this season's chase for the championship, as he looks to be the first multi-time champion in the Duracell Cup Series. Let's take a look at the finishing results from this race. We gave you your top 6 that transferred. Quentin Moore was 7th, N Amoedo in 8th, 9th for Pedro Lucas, Brad Stover in 10th. Then it was Sampsell in 11th, so that call to keep him out a couple laps longer did not work out. He gets 11th, Seth Cole 12th, Will Goss in 13th. Daniel Voyles, who started on the outside of the front row, free fell through the field during that 37-lapper. He'll finish 14th. Dylan Poteet in 15th. Rest of the top 20, Joshua Osborne, Arthur Xavier, Michael Roode, as well as Z Stultz, who was actually up there in a transfer spot for a brief moment. S Ozkan, that's your top 20. Rest of the drivers to finish out the rest of the field, J Dearborn, J Taurus, Rob Evans. These are drivers we never even saw up at the front, let alone up inside of the top 10. RJ Bishop fell way back. He's going to finish in 24th. Harrison Ponder in 25th. And it looks like Justin Dearborn is going to complete the rest of the field. But that is going to do it here for our non-charter race. We now know the 6 drivers that are going to transfer into the Throne of Games 500 here later on tonight. Dawson Wise, Michael Wayne Robinson, Dylan Schwallenberg, Chris Dollerton, L Chung, and Tristan Allen. 5 of those 6 chasing their first career Duracell Cup Series victory. Also, these drivers going to have the opportunity to be able to have game-themed liveries, as it's our special race of the season here, where drivers head on out with special paint schemes, throwing it back to their favorite games. But that's going to be coming up here for 56 laps of racing in just a little while. Hope you guys enjoyed this non-charter race here from Darlington. Should be a good one based on what we saw here with the non-charter race when we get ready for the 12th race of the season for Duracell Cup Series. See you guys later. We will be back momentarily here from Darlington. If you enjoyed this race, be sure you guys to like, subscribe, card crew today. We have shown you your full footage results, and we will see you guys, as I said, momentarily for the Throne of Games 500 here for Season 4 of the Duracell Cup Series. I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching a production of the SRA, Offline Racing at its best.